Hey everybody, I'm Greg with the Fix My Bleep channel. Thank you for joining me today. On this video, I'm going to be going over the Sigma Robotic Pool Cleaner. It's a product of Maytronics. It's one of the Dolphin series. So let's do a full-on review on this unit, go over the good, the bad, the maybes, and see if this thing is worth what it cost. So let's go ahead and get this thing in the water. There is a link in the description, and let's check it out. Here we go. Alright, so as you can tell, during the unboxing, there wasn't a ton that came with this unit. There's the Sigma robotic unit itself, there's the control cable, there's the control unit that you hook up, there is the owner's manual, and then there was a second set of filters that came with it for like the fine particles, the sand, the mud, stuff like that. Alright folks, so this is everything that is in the box on the Maytronics Dolphin Sigma Robotic Pool Cleaner. So you do get the control cable, you get the actual robotic unit, they send you an extra set of filters, which is awesome, the Maytronics manual, and you've got the actual control unit here. So it looks like you just plug in the power supply, you got your control unit right here, you can scan the QR code on the side for an online control manual. And that should be all there is to it. Let's take a quick look at the filters here. These are worth their weight in gold because I am sure these things are not cheap. You got the extra fine mesh filters right there. You got a little bit thicker mesh filter set. Very cool. And that was everything in the box. Alright, so their quick start guide is not too handy. It's basically 3 steps. It says plug it in, get it near the water, keep the power supply 12 feet from the water, and just put it in the pool. So not a lot with their quick start guide. So, you know, let's hope it's as easy as they say. So I'm just going to do what they say. Alright folks, so just showing you how to hook up the controller cable here. They pretty much made it idiot-proof. I know they say if you make it idiot-proof, the world will produce a better idiot, and that can be true in cases. But check this out, there is literally only one way you can plug this cable in. So you open that up, take your cable, you plug it in here, just like that, and then you just start rotating the collar here until it screws all the way in. And that is literally all there is to it. Your control cable is now hooked up to your control module, and you are ready to go with the Dolphin Sigma. Okay, so I think this is all hooked up. So literally I just had to plug in the control module. I made sure there's cartridges already in this thing ready to go. It says to keep this 12 feet away from your pool. So let's go drop it in the water and see what happens. All right, so just one more really quick note here, folks. The rollers or the scrubbers do have plastic covered on both the front and the back rollers. They don't mention that in the quick setup guide. So yeah, be sure and take off the plastic right here. You'll notice front and back. So just a quick note, not gonna work very well if you don't take that plastic off. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that real quick. Alright, so we're at the worth a mention part of the video. So when you unpack your Sigma by Maytronics robot, be sure and leave the foam rings on the main scrubbing unit on this robot. Otherwise, it's not going to climb the walls as well. They actually assist with climbing the walls and scrubbing your water line. And for those of you that read the instructions, as do I, it will actually tell you, be sure and leave the foam climbing rings on that robot. So do not mistake those as part of the packaging. They are not part of the packaging, so worth a mention part. right, it is powered on, and let's see what happens here. All right, looks like it's up on the side, cleaning the wall there. That's actually a good sign. It is supposed to climb walls. I'm happy to see that. So the Dolphin Sigma just shuts itself off after the first cleaning cycle, and you just gently pull it to the surface and with the hose, and then you use the handle to lift it out. You drain the water out as you get it near the surface, and then just lift it out onto the deck. And so we're going to go ahead and check the filters out. We're going to clean these guys out and see how it did. So to clean the filters, you just open the lid here. They made it really simple. Latch on each side, you just pop this open, grab the cartridge, just wiggle it, and look at all the stuff we've got in this filter. There's all sorts of stuff in there. Another filter on the back here. Same thing, you just pop the lid, close out of the way, pull that cartridge out. And again, there is just a ton of stuff trapped in there. You can go rinse these out like it says. And it's as easy as that to remove the filters. So it looks like to open these filters up, you just have the latch here. You just turn the latch like that. Alright you guys, so the Sigma's just finished its first round, so it took about 2 hours, and I'm just opening this first filter tray, and you'll notice I've got the camera in one hand. I can open these filter trays with one hand, and this thing is disgusting. Like, it's got leaves, it's got twigs, it's got dead bugs. Like I say, I'm just opening the pool after winter and after a lot of windstorms and everything. The pool, I don't normally ever let the pool get this dirty, so this thing is like being put through its paces. And you know, the results speak for themselves. Just look at all the stuff this thing has picked up. This is, you know, round number 1. It's gone through the pool, it's taken 2 hours, and just check out all the stuff it's picked up. Once again, you lay these out onto some concrete or onto the rock or gravel, and you just spray these off with water, and that's what I'm doing right now, just hosing everything off. Get the screens cleaned off front and back really good, then you're good to put everything back together. Okay, the Sigma Robot Pool Vacuum comes with these filters installed. Just for kicks, I'm going to try the other filters that it comes with, just to see if it'll pick up some of the really fine sand that I have in my pool. So these are the filters. This is the filter holder, and you'll notice here on the bottom it's got these little holes here that the feet of the filter locks into. So you literally just take your filter, you put it right in here, and it clips right there in the top. These little brackets go and they turn. So I'm going to grab the other filter. Feet, again, just go right into the holes, right like that. Put your top down and you turn the lock here, and just like that, and it locks it right in, and you're good to go. Let's check it out. Alright, so definitely realized that when I first dropped the Sigma into the water, that pool had been through 3 windstorms, and it hadn't even been brushed or cleaned all winter long. Like, it was as filthy as a swimming pool gets. It's not a covered swimming pool, and it was just like full of just silt, just dust, just leaves, everything you can imagine was in that pool. And like, it had its work cut out for it, and just dropped it in there and just let this thing go. And yeah, so there is that disclaimer. All right, so after putting the Sigma robot through its paces, the good about this robot. So the reason why I bought this thing was to save my back and to save hours and hours of scrubbing this pool. So it definitely scrubs and cleans like no other. I put this thing in a really dirty pool. As you can tell, as you can see on the video, it has cleaned that pool just spotless. It did take 3 rounds, so I obviously had to clean those filters out over and over again. They did fill up. There was just so much dirt and mud and muck in those pools. I put in the fine filters. It picked up all of the fine silt and the sand and all the leaves, everything else that was in there. So good point number 1 about this Sigma robot is it saves your back. It saves the brushing and the scrubbing and the deep cleaning. Alright, so good point number 2 about the Sigma robot is it is very well built. It's very durable. When you pick it up, you can just tell that there's some good quality put into this product, a lot of thought put into it. Very durable. So good point number 3 on the Sigma is it does not get hung up on drains or on walls. I have not had this thing get stuck anywhere. And in fact, the no tangle cord is as advertised. It is no tangle. This thing is great. Good point number 4, it climbs the walls like no other and scrubs all the way up and all the way back down. Good point number 5, this thing scrubs that water line all the way around your pool. Alright, good point number 6, this thing actually maps your pool. It doesn't just bounce around like a dumb robot. This thing actually gets in there and it maps out that entire pool. As you can kind of see the grid line during the time-lapse video, it looks kind of like a checkerboard. Good point number 7, very easy filters to pull out and to change or to just wash out every time it fills up. And honestly, it doesn't fill up very easily. These are big chambers to hold a lot of dirt, muck, and leaves. Good point number 8, you can set it onto a schedule using the little app that it comes with. Good point number 9, it is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled. So very high-tech robot. Alright, another good point is this thing has a gyroscope built into it, so it knows if it's vertical or horizontal. Also, it's got 3 powerful motors built into it and lots of suction. Best feature of all, this thing really cleans. That pool is spotless. It's never been cleaner, even when I was brushing and hand vacuuming that thing. So, cleans as advertised. Alright, so there's not a lot of bad on this device, on this Sigma robot. Really, the elephant in the room is the cost. So you're looking at about $13.50 investment on this thing, but I'll tell you what, my back is already thanking me. So that's the biggest downside, is initially that cost. So the next downside is maybe the weight to it. It's a little bit beefy. It's a 35-pound unit. So if you're like a little 85-year-old lady trying to lift this thing in and out of the pool, you'll want to get the dolly or the cart, or get a pool guy. So it's a little bit heavy. So another possible downside is it's been hit and miss on our stairs coming in and out of the pool. So the steps are pretty small. So if you have smaller steps on your pool, it might not do a great job on those. If you have larger steps, it's probably gonna climb up those steps pretty well until it gets to the shallow area. Then that little bar is gonna come up and sense the air, and it's not gonna go any further. So the steps, like I say, they're hit and miss. So not great on those steps. If they're bigger steps, probably gonna clean them. If they're little tiny baby steps like we got, it's just kind of cleaning the edge of those, the lip of those steps, but it's not getting down into the corner on those steps. So those, still brushing those steps. All right, so this is a maybe, and I went into this knowing that it probably would not clean the tanning ledge, and I was correct. Our tanning ledge is probably only about a foot, maybe 14 inches deep at the most, and is just too shallow for this robot unit. So I still have to brush our tanning ledge. Not a big deal. It's 8 feet by 15 feet. So I just sit there, brush all the sand off, whatever the dirt leaves into the pool, let it settle, and then I put in the robot, let the robot do the rest of the work. So I can't really fault Maytronics or the Sigma for that. It's not meant for a shallow tanning ledge. However, if you, like you saw on my bench was probably like 15 or 16 inches deep. It went right up onto that thing, it cleaned that, went right up onto the water or the scum line there, the water line, cleaned that, no problem. So if you have a tanning ledge that's a little bit deeper, this thing's gonna be fine. Otherwise, if you're okay brushing your tanning ledge, if it's shallower, just brush that off into the deep water, and you should be all set. So hey, as advertised, this little robot climbs walls and it scrubs a water line as advertised, which is really cool. I was really super impressed with that. When you buy something, when you spend this much money on one of the pool cleaner robots, you're just hoping that the thing does what it's advertised to do. And it does climb the walls, it does scrub the water lines. So hey, I just did another quick search on Amazon. So there's 306 reviews on this thing. It's getting a 4.5 out of 5 on the reviews, so there's a couple of unhappy people saying that this thing got caught on their drains. I have not had it get caught on drains or anything else in the pool, so those are apparently the couple of ticked off people. They said it got caught on their drains, and then they fitted their drains with some sort of cap or something, and I guess that fixed it. Alright, so hopefully this video has been helpful. If it has, please go ahead and like and subscribe, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and hey, check out these other awesome videos, and thanks so much, you guys.